Oh, I'm so tired of hearing this. Being polyamorous brings down the value of a woman to a prostitute, but not for a man. And who's saying this? A man? You hypocrite? Everyone's a hypocrite. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't stand hypocrites, man. I really can't.
Hypocrites, I cannot take anymore.
Dude. The less sex a person has, the better. The best thing to do is to be a virgin until you're married, which apparently no one's really doing except for me nowadays. I've been praying to God. I'm like, Lord, please let me be with a virgin man if it's in your will. At least a guy who hasn't had any sex since he found Jesus Christ, and, because, he's technically a virgin if that's the case, because I do believe in the power of Jesus Christ and that you are a new creature. So if you haven't had sex since you were baptized or whatever, then alright, I'll consider you a virgin. And I'll try not to be bothered by the things you've done in the past because, I want to be forgiving, and I would want people to be forgiving for me if I whored around in the past too. So, anyway. I'm so tired of the double standards. I'm so tired of the hypocrisy. A man having sex with 10 people or having sex 10 times, and a woman having sex 10 times or 10 people, it's equally as disgusting and horrible. And I feel like even in God's eyes, it's equally horrible. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. And you know what? I had a little epiphany yesterday after I was looking at some scriptures about marriage and how God says that if you're burning with passion, it's best to just get married and stuff like that. It says it a few times in different ways that it's best to get married than to have sex outside of marriage. And it hit me. I was like, whoa. So God's basically saying, he would rather you. This is how bad sin is, okay? Because as a human, we act like it's no big deal. We make excuses why we sin, and, but to God, it is such a big deal that he would rather you marry somebody who may not be your perfect match. He would rather you go into a lifelong contract, death do you part, instead of sinning one time. He would rather you devote your whole life to somebody instead of having sex one time. That's how big this is. That's how horrible sin is. I can't imagine what it actually does in the spiritual realm to you and everyone around you doing that stuff, So it really hit me yesterday. I was like, wow, that's how bad sin is. God would rather me devote my whole life to something instead of sinning for 5 minutes one time 50 years ago, Like, isn't that weird? You might have your perfect match out there, but he'd rather you marry someone who may not be perfect for you just so you don't sin. Really let that sink in. How big and horrible sin must be. It's almost like murder. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, it sounds like sin is almost as serious as murder to me. It just blows my mind. So, oh man. Any guy out there who thinks it's okay to have sex outside of wedlock is just fooling himself. He's just fooling himself. Okay? And he's fooling everyone else if he's trying to preach this crap, because you're gonna have another thing coming on Judgment Day. That's all I'm gonna say. So, yeah. Just stop being selfish. Stop being so selfish. And just, knock it off. Yeah. That's my advice.